Thank you for joining us this week on the theTXANNchannel. This is Michael Mars for the Texas Automotive News Network, and we've been putting some really fun miles on the 2013 Nissan 370Z Touring, a true sports car for the driver experience. With its traditionally long sloping hood, some molded in daytime running lights, and a European style front end, this two-seater is available in a coupe or a roadster with two trim levels, and there's even one limited edition model. Now, while the base model rolls on some 18-inch wheels, the Touring model for review rolls on some low-profile rubber that is wrapping a 19-inch wheel that really shows off larger brakes that are available with the sports package option. Under the hood of the 370Z, there's a variation of the very popular Nissan 3.7-liter V6, and in this case it's producing 332 horsepower and it's backed by a 6-speed manual. There is a 7-speed automatic that's available, but that really seems out of place in this car. There is a limited edition model also. Now that's going to bump the horsepower of the 3.7 up to 350 horses, and it only comes with a manual gearbox, which is as it should be. Sliding in the interior, there is some distinctive 370Z styling with soft touch materials on the door panels and the large armrest where the two window controls are found. The door pulls are easy to grip, while the door handles are a machined finished round piece with a door lock embedded, so the hand can slide in to unlock and grip the handle in one fluid motion. And it looks pretty cool too. The traction controls are on the left of the dash for easy driver reach, and the digital support screen on the left of the gauge cluster, it's actually controlled by two buttons that are mounted on the dash that really make it easy to configure the driver preferences. Now, center face in the gauge cluster is the tach. Now it's got a handy gear indicator that's going to help make sure that nobody grabs the wrong gear when bouncing around inside the 6-speed, while the speedometer is also mounted to the right. Now there are two more buttons next to the 180 mph speedometer that control the trip settings. There are steering wheel mounted switches that allow hands-on control of the cruise and the really outstanding Bose system that's in the Touring model that actually includes two subwoofers to really kick this thing. The thick steering wheel is easy to grip, and moving on over to the top center of the dash, we're going to see the auxiliary gauges that include the boost, which are actually turned towards the driver for easier reading. Then there is the 7-inch color monitor that's mounted at the top of the center stack, and it's supported by manual controls that are actually easier to reach than the touchscreen. Moving on down the center stack, we're going to see the CD player, as well as the manual audio controls, which are traditional knobs, and then even further down on the center stack are the manual climate controls for the dual zone climate system. Now the center console is nicely wrapped in leather with a sport mode button mounted up front that really slips the 370Z into a sports performance mode. Now the 6-speed shifter is also wrapped in leather, while the heating and cooling for the seats are mounted at the center of the console. Now there is also a cup holder in the center console, as well as a little bit of deep storage that has another 12-volt power supply and a set of RCA jack inputs. Moving on around the interior, we're going to see that there's a large glove box for storage in the dash, as well as the door panels have some storage. Now the seats are a nice perforated sporty type material for heating and cooling to work, and then behind the seats is a variety of storage options. There is one storage compartment that will fold out, as well as quite a bit of space on the floor to put things. From the passenger area is another view of how the 370Z is cleanly laid out, yet is very much performance oriented. Looking at the rear liftgate, there's more than enough room for weekend gear, including a couple of sets of golf clubs. Now there is a cover that keeps things out of sight and out of mind when you're away from the vehicle, as well as some storage tie-down hooks to keep things from rolling around. One cool thing that Nissan also found a way to hide one of the subwoofers inside the spare tire compartment that really gives some bass throughout the car. The 2013 Nissan 370Z maintains a classic style with body lines that flow out to cover the wide 19-inch wheels, with power under the hood and handling in true sports car style. Thank you again for joining us this week on the Texas Automotive News Network as we've been putting some miles on the 2013 Nissan 370Z Touring.